Well, howdy folks, I'm Rick from the Luminary Shop, and those of you who have been following along these last 7 or 8 months know that my video is late. I usually try to get these put up by Friday at noon, every other Friday, and obviously this one hasn't gone up on time. Well, we seem to have had a major wind event in southern Montana. It went clear from Missoula to the eastern border of the state, some 650 miles, and probably 200 miles north to south. Anyway, with 70-mile-an-hour sustained winds and over 97-mile-an-hour gusts, you can imagine the damage that was caused. And what it caused locally, one of the things that it caused locally, is it took out the tower that our internet service is based on. So I wasn't able to upload this video. Now I've talked to the folks with the company, and they've told me, assured me, that the crews are working diligently trying to get things back online all the way across the state of Montana. So when they get that up and get it fixed, I'll be able to upload this video. Sorry for the delay, but it's the best I can do. Well, it looks like we're going to get this video uploaded after all. Thanks for your patience. Well, in this video I'm going to be finishing up the spinning on all the different parts for these Hitch Wagon lamps. I'm going to try to demonstrate a little bit more about the chucks and the techniques that I use to make these parts. I'll be spinning a rolled beaded edge for one part, and another part requires a 2-part compound chuck that comes apart in order to get the piece off of it. But I'll talk more about that when we get there. Well, there's a lot of spinning to do, so let's get started. I got these first 9 spinnings done in the last video. We'll go ahead and do the last 7 now. The case flange is just enough larger and the sides are steeper, which will require annealing in order to spin this part. It's important to get that kick out at the bottom of each piece in the right place in order for the lamps to fit together properly. The forward stroke gets the metal headed in the right direction, but it's the back stroke that sets it down closely to the chuck. The brass is already starting to work harden, even starting to wrinkle a bit. Now's the time to do that annealing. By heating to a dull red and air cooling, it's enough to get this metal back into shape for more spinning. The inner liner flange is enough smaller and less steep than the last flange that I spun that it allows me to spin it all the way through without annealing. This chuck has a rounded ledge which will help me place the rolled beaded edge in the right spot. Here I'm starting that rolled edge by pushing the metal back on itself and starting that roll. I continue to form that bead by tucking the edge and rolling the metal over itself. Well, this isn't so hard. Whoop. A little too much pressure, a little too fast, and scrap metal. Of the several methods that are available to make this kind of a part, I'm going to use a chuck like this one that's made in two pieces so that I can take one part out of the bottom of the piece and one part out of the top of the piece, leaving the neck down area in the middle. Now I'm spinning down that middle portion of the brass into the narrow neck, which would trap it on the chuck if it were not a take-apart chuck. I've placed a reinforcing disc between the follow block and the shell to hold it in place while I cut it off. Well, this about wraps up the spinning for this project. I still have lots to do to get these parts finished up and ready and get the pre-assemblies made and all set to go to the plater. These parts are all going to be polished and nickel plated. I'll be getting to that in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.